My question is, how does the shamanic world play into truth, real ultimate truth and non-dual truth in what you're teaching?
Yes, I can clear that up quite easily. An example that I use periodically is what happens in near-death experience if one is ready. Mm-hmm. You're familiar with reports of like being drawn into the light. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. And what typically happens in this is there is the passing by of loved ones who have passed, but the light, the pure light itself, has such a force that while one might have thought that they would stop to be with a loved one that they had missed so much, the draw is right into the center of the light. In my experience, this is identical to the process of realization, except it is not something external, it is internal. That the light actually lives inside of you. It is what is called the Satguru, the master. But it draws exactly the same and is experienced exactly the same as what is reported. Now what happens is the more deeply you are pulled in, there are these endless realms, what I call these dream realms. Mm-hmm. And the closer in you get, the more luminous they are. And the more luminous they are, the more love-infused they are. But it is the field of the light itself that is the ground for the appearance of the dream, as opposed to the dream creating the field of light. Mm-hmm. And once you begin to taste it, there is this pull of pure love that pulls you all the way in. There is a recognition of the beauty of these emanations that are temporary and seem to be changing and moving. But there is a recognition that there is nothing that can stop this pull. It is not actually active, it is passive. What is required prior to something like this happening, the first is true surrender into the master, whatever the master may be, God, Jesus, Ramana. Ramana's master was a mountain. It doesn't matter what it is. But when the surrender is all the way, what seemed to be external is discovered to be internal. And then there is the vigilance. And the vigilance is foregoing what has created the experience of being separate and operating out of that conditioning. And that is this constant bringing the attention back to what is present. Shamanic work can be very helpful and very enlightening. But this teaching is about carrying one all the way home into what is eternal.
That's what I want.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you are in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
So when visions come up, mm-hmm. they can offer something of great beauty in the moment. Mm-hmm. It is always in the moment that there is the nectar. Mm-hmm. Just like this dream offers something of beauty in the moment, you can receive it when you are in the moment. When you are in the moment, you are not identified as a body, mind. From this place, there is constant offering, there is a constant gift of revelation, of wisdom. When you get used to this taste, then what happens for some is there is the awareness of other realms, but it is the same. In the moment, there is this beauty. As soon as it becomes a thought, then it is a distraction into the habit of the separate one.
Okay.
If some insight is meant to happen in it, then an insight is meant to happen. Okay. If there is no insight meant to happen, it does not matter.
So going away from an experience and pondering about what it meant
is a distraction.
Is a distraction.
That's right.
All right.
This is not about understanding something. It is about understanding nothing. It is not about knowing, it is about not knowing. It is freedom from knowing. As soon as you are free from knowing, immediately you are present. Immediately there is the taste of wakeful consciousness. It is knowing something that immediately is known by someone. When there is no experience of someone, there is not someone who knows. They go hand in hand. Out of knowing nothing arises true wisdom, which is a complete flow.
Which you don't hold on to. Just let it go.
It's just moving on its own. Like these words, for instance, may look like they are coming from someone who knows something. But there is no idea of from where they are coming or what they may do. It's just flowing. It is the natural way. It is not based on information. It is not based on the past. It is not based on someone. It is arising for you, because in truth there is only one. It looks like someone, but that's the shamanic dream. It's all symbolic. It is the same as the vision quest. It's just regular. So it's called normal life. But when you are present, it is not regular. It is not normal life. It is a constant vision quest without the quest. And what is it pointing to? It is all pointing to ultimate truth. Everything in it is doing nothing but pointing to ultimate truth, either by pointing to the habits of what has caused the forgetting, or pointing directly to the beauty. There is nothing else going on in this vision other than that, when there is eyes to see.
Okay. Wow. It's scary.
It's scary.
It's scary. I mean, if that's all it is, then I think that the void is, for me, I don't feel the big love yet.
Yes.
So it's a little
sweetie,
empty.
your mind says it is scary, and yet you have chosen to come here because there is a hunger.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the scary is a story.
Yeah.
If there is no following of a story, what is there to be afraid of? It is what pulls the experience into being separate, and then there is a story scary. But what the mind calls the unknown, which you are calling the void, the truth is it's the only thing that is known. It's the simplicity of the feeling of your being. Everything else is fleeting ideas, fleeting sensations, fleeting emotions, always changing. But what is solid and constant that creates the feeling of me is your being. There is nothing scary about it. It is everything else that is scary. It is true that the conditioned mind will throw up everything it possibly can to try to create roadblocks. Just like if community services goes to pick up a child in a severely abusive home, and this child knows no love but just knows torture, it will still scream and cry to stay where it is, because that is what is familiar. The nature of egoic mind. The grace is that something knows, or you would not be here. The story of what is frightening is the only thing that is safe. So let the craziness of the story arise and watch it out of what is present. Every time this happens, you get freed of an aspect of conditioning, and you have a deeper taste of yourself.